Greetings World, and YouTube, along with people out there. As time goes on in the world seems to be spiraling out of control. We are to remember that those that are in corporate organizations and other forms of authority. But when authority is misused, what then? Things are getting very difficult for such topics as economy and survival. The homeless suffer and those who are in the poverty levels. While huge billionaires and CEOs make money and have little to put toward the taxes. Even more. But it all comes to a source. Remember when gas did not cost as much back in the early years from the 60s to the 90s? Things seemed more basic. Now the prices go up more and more, and even for common things like food. For a loaf of bread back then it used to not be that much. Think of that. When things go on like this, things has been very difficult. The school system, when they removed the 10 Commandments and did not let anyone even have a Bible in school or even colleges' campuses. The morals have declined at a dramatic rate. Schools now have to have dress codes, which started in the 90s, and I was in the time. There are so many things going on, and it is sad that we're living in such a crazy time even in 2016. It is not bad to have God in schools and people's lives, but people must always keep in mind to know the difference in God and the Bible. Yes, there has been in history people who claim to be Christians but were not, and there has been mass murders, but there has been Christians who were real persecuted too and killed. Most of it in history they cover up and distort the truth. It would be better if children had morals, to know right from wrong, to know that if you steal, there are consequences. Even killing. Murdering, like in school shootings, is a sin and against both God's law and man's law. At least it is supposed to be. America has been really getting bad on these issues. If teens knew the 10 Commandments, and even adults, and followed them, things would change in a dramatic way, but it is something that would not happen overnight. The media even has changed. There used to be movies and TV shows like Andy Griffith that shown morals, and these days though that show does still air on TV. Today's music industry, even like Miley Cyrus, when she was on the Disney Channel's Hannah Montana. The show showed good values for children as a good role model. But now she has been doing bad and showing and displaying sexual behavior, and children that look up to her then now imitate such things, and is not good. Changes need to be made, and sometimes to make those changes in government and society is to stop going by the old system and start over. People are not like change, but it is something that must come forth. Racism is another really big issue in America and the world. Police brutality and stuff that go on. The police are supposed to be to protect and serve, but when that is not going on, it is harder to trust. There are also things with protesters when they act peaceful and get attacked. Some protesters when they do violent acts need to be stopped and arrested, but freedom of speech, therefore, that is one thing. We must hold on to the Constitution. Of course. But there needs to be a lot better work in that matter as well. And the issues of the Westboro Baptist Church, they are mislead and need to change themselves as well. They need to stop because, yes, it does say in the scriptures that fornication is a sin. But me if one is married and goes and does things outside of marriage, and that means all forms of sexual things, like molestation to children and stuff. Look up the word fornication in the dictionary and think before speaking. There does not need to be racism. In fact, those we are all different, do we not all have the same blood color and hearts, and all created by God? To realize this is to remember we have been for so long told and taught and conditioned in this way of thinking. American and the world can truly be a great place and perhaps be able to awaken to a new way of living and evolving. The consideration of things from others who have maybe a different way of saying but the same visions. A world where things exploring new possibilities and reaching out to each other and helping each other. Where discrimination no longer exists. Where hatred no longer exists. Maybe it's a dream, but can be a reality, if people were really wanting to start over. Another issue. The New World Order. And the RFID chips in plants. The Bible has clearly in Revelation said, the mark of the beast will be in the right hand of the forehead, but people that say that is not the mark. It is the hardware, so to speak. Like a computer has both hardware and software to function. They want to put these chips in everyone, and have gotten away with animals. Governments want to be able to track anyone anywhere in the world. It is like a GPS but put into the skin. However, these things though will keep from identity theft, there is no privacy, none at all. They will also be used to buy things, and will soon be the only methods of currency. And that is because governments planned on completely doing away with all current currencies so that the economy can be completely done away with so they can restart. But if people lived by good morals, they would not steal and cheat and do bad things with money to begin with. But something must be done to stop this, and if nothing, then at least know of things. There is also in the RFID chips that modify the DNA, which takes free will and choices to love the truth, and a false idea of being all gods, when the truth is, it is the Anitya beast system. Also in Revelation and the book of Daniel, a false peace treaty will be made with the world, so be watching and wake up. If you understand this, we are anonymous. We do not forget, and we will not forgive the injustice done. Expect us not to be silent.